Okay, so welcome back to another video on my car diary, Calvin's car diary, whatever you want to call it. I'm Calvin by the way. In the background I've got a Maserati Ghibli 3-litre diesel, and I've just put it on Instagram to say that it's now my new daily, so there it is. The plan for the video today, it's a really brief video, and this video has managed to queue jump all of my other edits, by the way, so if anyone's waiting to see other videos and they're wondering why this one's been put up before other videos, it's because this has jumped the queue. I have just put this on Instagram and I thought it'd just be good to do a brief walk around video, really basic, just walk around it, talk about it, and just show you around it, because it's fresh news, isn't it? I just wanted to get it out there as soon as possible. So it's a Maserati Ghibli 3-litre diesel, and it is a very random choice of car, I know, but as I said on my Instagram post, I do get excited about this sort of stuff. It's different, isn't it? I'm not a huge Italian car fan. Obviously I love Ferraris, but I don't know, like Fiats and Alfa Romeos. I'm not a massive Italian car fan. I'm actually a big German fan, and I've now got an Italian car and I've got a GTR, which is a Japanese car, so really odd. It's just how things have turned out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you around the car, I'm going to talk to you because I want to put the camera down because it's weighing me down, it's bloody heavy. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is kneel down. This camera's big and heavy. What I'm going to do is we're going to go for a little walk around the car. I'll tell you how the car come about as well. I'll show you inside, and we'll leave it as that for today. Like I said, it's going to be a brief video, and I just want to show you around the car, alright? So we're going to start off with the front end of the car. Let's flip that round. In fact, we'll start off by going over the colour. So it does look purple. In my eyes, it definitely looks purple. It's called, I googled it this morning, it's called Rosso Falgore. So on the logbook it's actually red, Rosso meaning red in Italian, and it must be a shade of red, but through my eyes that definitely looks purple. Like them calipers are red. That's my idea of the colour red, and to me this definitely looks purple. But I'm a huge fan of the colour. Definitely a bit of a brave choice of colour, but I definitely like it. Now, the Maserati Ghibli was definitely not a car that I considered buying, but one thing I do want to touch on right now, whilst we're sort of stood here looking at this shot of the car, is the presence of it, the physical presence. It's massive. Like, through pictures you don't appreciate or understand or see the sheer size of it. It is a bloody big car, and that gives it a real grand presence about it. I don't know if you get a feel for that yourselves, but that's something that really impressed me when I first saw it. Now, let's zoom in again. At the front we've got black grills. I don't know if that's an aftermarket thing. Personally, if I bought one with chrome grills, I would have done exactly the same things. In fact, if I walked up closer, you can see even better. The black does look good. This thing here, I'm a little bit unsure about that. I think, much to the previous owners' disappointment, I suppose is the right word, I think they're going to be coming off later on this afternoon. And like I say, bear with me, not bear with me, that's the wrong choice of word. Understand, I've literally just picked this car up, so I don't know loads about it, and even the way it come about, I didn't actually plan to buy this car, so again, forgive me for my lack of knowledge on this car. I'm just going to walk around and do it really off the cuff, okay? So black grills with these funny Italian coloured things, not a fan of them. People like to do that on BMWs as well. People that do that on BMWs I think they're silly billies. But front parking sensors, Maserati badge, very nice, and the headlights, which are extremely attractive. I think they look good. They give it a real mean look, and we've got a Maserati badge in the headlight there. Moving on, the wheels. Yeah, first thing you notice when you look at these wheels is how badly curved they are. Previous owner, I don't know how good a driver he was, but in his defense, like I said before, this is a huge car, so that was probably partly to play in the curbing of these wheels. But again, that's a little bit annoying, so they will probably be getting done. I don't think I could tolerate having wheels in a state like that. They are diamond cut wheels, a bit more work involved with refurbing them, but they definitely need doing. big Maserati brake calipers. Again, I don't know loads about the brakes, but I do know that it stops bloody well. And moving on, we've got 4 doors, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. I definitely know about that. And if we swing around to the back, we've got a quad exit exhaust system, which personally I think looks well cool. Is that still recording? You are still recording, yeah. This number plate T64JAT is the previous owner's plate. Again, like I said, I've just collected it. It's still got some of his belongings inside, and it's still got his number plate on it. That will be coming off, and I might put my own plate on it. I don't know yet. Depends on how long I keep it for. Moving on, I think that's it. We've got a nice Maserati badge on the side there. I think that's quite a typical Maserati thing. They do that a lot with their cars. And I think that's pretty much it for the outside. So I'm a huge fan of the colour, and I'm a big fan of the front headlights. I think they look good. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go inside. In fact, we'll go around this side, and I'll tell you a bit more how it come about and the reason why I bought it. So let me just switch this camera on here. You are now recording. There you go. Right, I'll run round. So as you walk up to the car, you notice these little buttons on the door handles, yeah? It is fully keyless. I'll show you the key as well, by the way. It's quite a cool looking key. There is, in fact, let's go to GTR key. That's a GTR key, yeah? It's a neat looking key. Here is Maserati Ghibli key. It is massive and it weighs a lot as well, but it's definitely an attractive key, but the size and weight of it is slightly larger than your average key. Okay, so you walk up, keys in your pocket, yeah? Job done. Walk up, press that button there, open, yeah? Completely keyless. Something else that's quite cool about it is we've got frameless windows. I love that as a touch on cars, especially on 4-door saloons. That's quite a rare thing on a 4-door saloon. Nice little Maserati badge at the bottom there, which it's not going to focus on, but you'll see when it eventually does. There you go, Maserati. Anyway, moving on. Inside, this is what really sold this car to me, okay? I don't know, again, going back to optional extras, I don't bloody know what optional extras this car has, but I do know that it's got a hell of a lot going for it. So we've got these big flappy paddles behind the steering wheel. They're mounted to the steering column as well, just like my GTR, which is cool. Leather everywhere, typical Italian sort of trait. There's leather everywhere, and we've got red stitching everywhere. I don't know, again, if that's an extra. I would assume it is, because that is like an abnormally nice touch. You rarely see that on a production car, so I'm very pleased that it's got that. And then again, back to the seats, we've got black leather, very Italian looking seats, nice and spongy and comfortable, again with the red stitching, which is a nice contrast, especially as the car is supposedly red as well. Again, look, purple, not red I don't think, and red, definitely red. Moving on from that, we've got, I don't know if you can see that, Maserati embossed emblems on the headrest, and that's on all 4 headrests. If we go in the back, again the pattern repeats, it continues throughout the back, and the rear headrest we've got Maserati emblems here when it decides to wake up and focus. Yeah, there you can see it, can't you? You get the idea. There you go. The back of the car is very nice, very luxurious. We'll get onto the little carbon bits in a sec as well. That's the back doors, right? Front, we've got more carbon. That is actually carbon, by the way, as well. That's a nice touch. And electric seats, again, it does need a bloody good clean. You can see dust around the switches. Stuff like that really annoys me. I don't like that at all. This one does apparently, like the previous owner told me, that these were an option. Alloy pedal covers, okay? I've looked online, not many other Maserati Ghiblis have got them. That's definitely a nice option. See little badges, Maserati badges in the centre. Again, they need a bloody good clean. If I jump in, have a little break. So we've got this camera here mounted on the window, the passenger window. That's a wide angle lens, which is it gives you a better view of the interior of the car. So I'll use this camera for close-up shots, and I'll use that camera for more of a broad shot of me. All right. I'll leave the door open because it's bloody hot in there. Steering wheel, nice looking steering wheel, again very bold. It makes you feel like, the first thing I noticed when I got in this car is, like I said, the overall size of it was really big and grand, and the dashboard feels really bold. But the steering wheel, again, it kind of continues onto the steering wheel. It feels really chunky. It's a really bold steering wheel. The big horn in the centre there, it just feels like a real grand steering wheel. The whole car does feel really grand. So, but like I say, the steering wheel does give it a real bold feeling. Carbon fibre, we've got more carbon fibre here. We've got a couple of cup holders. I know this is basic stuff, but this is all important. Cup holders are important, especially if you're like me, you like to have, generally I have a bottle of water in there all the time. In here we've got the tracker fob thing that you should carry with you everywhere, and here we've got an auxiliary and a USB socket. Again, needs a bloody good cleaning there. Something else that I've noticed that you probably haven't noticed, well, there's no way you could have noticed, is the smell. It smells like a brand new car. There is obviously a lot of leather in here, and it's very, like I keep saying, very luxurious, but it smells so fresh in here. This car is a 65 plate, so it's sort of, what's that, 2.5 years old, so it's got a few more months left on the manufacturer warranty, but it does smell very fresh in here. In here, we've got McDonald's card, coffee card, so that's not mine, that's the previous owners, and that is actually a cooled centre armrest box thing, whatever you want to call it. So if you've got a can of Coke, which I don't drink, a bottle of water that you want to keep cold, you can put that in there and it will keep it cold. Glove box, crisps, more crisps, and mints and glasses and water. Okay, that's also a cooled glove box, which is quite cool, funny enough. Okay, so moving on with the whole keyless thing, okay? You've got a push button start there. I'll start the engine and we'll, electric steering column, look at that for luxury. Over here we've got this central, I'll turn that down, large screen with the heater fan surrounding it. Press accept. That's a bit annoying that every time you start the engine that comes up. So we've got sat nav, but this system here is actually really good. It's bleeping at me, that's seat belts that are bleeping at me there. We've got obviously Bluetooth phone, little things that I really wanted in a daily car. Bluetooth phone, like I've been so annoyed having cars that don't have Bluetooth, it's so frustrating. So we've got Bluetooth phone, we've got Bluetooth audio, you've got heated seats which are controlled by the screen as well. All your climate control, you can turn that on. Again, all touch screen, sat nav, your phone options, and then the general settings. Okay, so that's a really good system. I'm very pleased with all of that. Even had like Bluetooth audio. That's just, I know these are simple things really, but I'm so pleased to finally have them in a car. Obviously I've got all of this in my GTR, but the GTR is just not a daily car. Up here again, this is a very typical Maserati trait, that it's got like an analog clock on the dash surrounded by a nice bit of dash interior. That's actually not leather. I don't know, it might be leather, but it looks good, doesn't it? Nice centrally mounted analog clock. It is an automatic 8-speed ZF gearbox. It drives really well, and this one again, I would say it's got a great option list, because not many of them online have got all of these buttons here filled as buttons. Some of them are blank, so it's nice to see all of that. We've got the Skyhook suspension, sports mode, ice mode, which is like a sensible driving mode for when you're on your motorway and stuff, manual mode, and then traction control. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, why have I chose a Maserati Ghibli? Yeah, that's probably what most of you are wondering. I'll put that camera there to keep that out of the way. Yeah, why have I chosen a Maserati Ghibli? Now bear in mind also that this camera, I know I've said it already, that is a wide angle lens, so if it looks very different, you may or may not like that, but it's just gives you a better view of the whole car. Okay, but you know what, it's not actually as wide as I thought it was. So this is the first time I've used this wide angle lens. It's a new lens. I bought it for like internal car shots, so I expected it was going to be a lot more curved than it is, but it's actually really good. So forget that I even say that. And one more thing I want to tell you is, I keep sniffing, yeah? That ain't because I do naughty stuff at the weekend. It's because I've got bloody hay fever. If any of you lot have got hay fever, you will know how annoying that is. But just forget about that. Let's go back to the video, yeah? So the Maserati Ghibli, the reason why I bought it, that I didn't actually choose to buy this car. I decided I wanted a daily. Let me switch that off for a minute. And I narrowed it down to a Golf R, which I had that red one a few weeks ago. I've done the done in 60 seconds video on that. Go and check that video out, that was quite cool. And that sold straight away, and I was like, oh, I really like that car. And or a M140, I started looking at M140s, and I thought, I don't really want something too leery as a daily car. So what I wanted was, I changed my plan of getting a daily car, and I wanted something with a bit more luxury, just a bit more class. So I started looking at things like 640Ds, BMW X5s, Audi Q7s, Porsche Cayennes, and I actually narrowed it down to a Porsche Panamera. I think that was my final choice of car. The Maserati, how this car come about, is whilst considering buying a Porsche Panamera, I had someone offer me a diesel Maserati Ghibli, and I was like, do you know what, that sounds alright, I'm interested to see what that's like. So the guy come down to see me yesterday, and I looked at it and I was just like, wow, this is really nice. And I drove it, and I'm genuinely surprised with the overall build quality, the value for money, and the amount it offers me or anyone looking for a daily car. It ticks so many boxes. So I wouldn't go as far as saying I fell in love with it, but I do really like it, and it is different and it's quite special. This is Maserati's first attempt at putting a diesel engine in a car, so it's quite a brave thing to buy, really. But so far I am really liking it, and it's still under manufacturer's warranty as well, by the way, so I've got that peace of mind as well. So you can see overall it is a lovely car. It is a really nice car. Like I said, the red stitching's nice. The overall feel of it, the seats are comfortable. You know, you've got all the electric seats, you've got heated seats, DAB and blah blah blah. So for me as a daily car, it fits the picture perfectly. Now I will be doing videos in time of how it drives and stuff, but one thing what I want to show you before you go is it's got a real oddly deep sound to it. It sounds like it almost sounds like a V8. So it's actually a 6-cylinder engine, not an 8-cylinder engine. If you put it in sports mode, okay, let's do that again. So right now it's quiet, yeah. As soon as you put it in sports mode, there's like a deep sound. You might just be able to hear it. Let's see. Can you almost tell that that's going to change? What I'll do is I'll put this camera out the back on the floor. I'll switch that off first. So right now we're in like the quiet mode. I'll put this camera on the floor out the back, and I'll see. Let's see if you notice it from here. 1 second. If I put that there on a tripod, there you go. I'll leave that recorded. Now let's see if you can hear it out the back. It's just a subtle change in tone. Now that might be a speaker in here, I don't know, but it gives it a nice roar. So if I give it a rev without the sport button on, I'll switch that off now. I'm trying to talk it up like it's some high performance car, it's not, but I was just quite impressed with the way it sounds. So that's what it sounds like anyway with normal mode, yeah? Press the sport button. This is what it sounds like with the sport button on. It's just a bit more beef there, isn't it? It's a bit more grunt. So that's one thing that did really impress me. I'll go and get the camera from over there. 1 second. Yeah, so that is one thing that did really impress me when I picked it up. The guy was like, yeah, put it in sports mode and see what it sounds like. So I've done that, and it does sound really good. The overall, like, way it drives, obviously it's a Maserati, they build sports cars, it's got a real sporty feeling to it. It's got a diesel engine, so it ticks the practicality box. It's got 4 doors, so all in all, it's a great car. It does perform surprisingly well for a big fat 4-door saloon. So I think that's it. I'm done, ain't I? I've covered everything. Well, I've covered everything I wanted to. If I haven't covered anything and you've got any questions, do hit me with your questions in the comments below. Like I say, it's the overall feel of it that really sold it to me more than anything. It's you know, like I did mention, it's got this heater control panel here. It's got SD card slot there. You know, the carbon fibre, a bit of Alcantara on the door pillars as well. Just the overall quality of it. It's very Italian. It's very, very Italian, and it really is what you'd expect with any Italian car. But it's just such a nice car. So let me know your thoughts. Would you have got a 640D or a Panamera over this? What would you have done? I'm curious. Do you like it? Is it your kind of car? I know what I'm like. I probably won't keep it for long. I do get bored of things very quick, other than a GTR, because that's an absolute machine of a car. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hopefully you like it. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to me, hit subscribe and give me a follow on Instagram as well to keep up to date with what I'm doing. You will be seeing this a lot more on Instagram as well. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.